Okay, good morning, students. Yesterday we completed a small introduction about AIDS. So the full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So already we know the definition of infection, the definition of diseases, and the definition of syndrome. Once the disease-causing agent enters into the body, after entering, if the pathogen's number is going to increase, that is called as infection. Because of this infection, the cells and tissues and organs are going to damage. Because of that damaging, the person exhibits symptoms. Once the person is exhibiting symptoms, then it is called as disease. And like this group of diseases attacking to the person, now that group of symptoms are exhibited, that group of symptoms we are termed as syndrome. So here for infections and diseases, particular treatments are there, but if it is a syndrome, there is no cure. There is no treatment for syndromes. So here HIV causes one of the dangerous disease known as AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Once the virus enters into the body, the total immune power is going to decrease. That's why it is termed as immunodeficiency. Now this immunodeficiency syndrome is enters into the body after the birth. That's why it is called as acquired. So AIDS is not a congenital disease. It is not a congenital disease. Hence by birth it is not generally occurs into the body. Now how this virus enters into the body? Mode of infections. Here this HIV viruses generally enters into the healthy person by a sexual contact with a infected person. For example, a person is suffering with HIV. Now the healthy partner is contact with that person sexually. Immediately that healthy person is receives such type of viruses. So sexual contact with the infected persons, HIV infected persons. Next, second one is by the transfusion of contaminated blood. By the transfusion of contaminated blood and blood products. Maybe blood or blood products. So once the contaminated blood is transferring to the healthy person, that contaminated blood is totally filled with HIV virus. If such type of blood we are transferring into the healthy person, even though there is a chance of transferring of HIV. Next, infected needles, sharing of infected needles. And next, through the sexual partner. If the sexual partner is deceased, automatically the HIV enters into the one more partner. Next, from a HIV mother to child. From HIV mother to child is also there is a chance of transfusion of this virus. And the persons, those who are required repeated blood transfusions. Some persons they required repeated blood transfusions. Example for such persons: hemophilia persons, thalassemia persons, and leukemia persons. Here, first two types of diseases are of genetical disorders and the leukemia. This leukemia is also known as blood cancer. Blood cancer. So, such type of persons they require continuous transfusion of blood. They require continuous blood. Why? Because when we observe the hemophilia patients, in these hemophilia persons, there is no blood clot. Blood clot mechanism is totally absent here. Why? Because the blood clotting mechanism requires some factors. Such type of factors are completely absent here. So if there is no blood clot factors, if any small injury occurs in that body, immediately the blood is continuously bleed out. So for such persons, continuous requirement of blood. Next, thalassemia patients. In this case, RBC structure, especially we know hemoglobin. Hemoglobin consists of mainly 4 polypeptide chains: alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2. These 4 polypeptide chains are called as globins. Such type of globin protein structures are going to damage. So because of that damaging of globin part, the RBC structure is also going to change. So such type of persons, there is no transfusion of gases properly. So such type of persons we are termed as thalassemia patients. So for these thalassemia patients also healthy blood is required. So such type of persons we are called as such persons require repeated blood transfusions. For that persons, if we are transferring a blood, that blood is contaminated with HIV, automatically the HIV virus enters into such type of persons. Now these are all different types of mode of infections. Because of this, HIV easily attacks a healthy person, and this HIV does not attacks by physical touch, by shaking hands, by hugging. The HIV is not going to transfer. So it is completely not enters into the body by physical touch. Next, once the virus enters into the body, now that person is termed as infected person. Once the virus enters into the body, immediately the person is not exhibits symptoms. There is a time lag between infection and symptoms. For example, today a person is getting HIV virus. After few months, after few years or few months, the person exhibits symptoms. This time lag period we are simply termed as window period. Here the window period means the time period in between infection and the person exhibits symptoms. So from infection to symptoms, that period we are termed as window period. For HIV, this window period is for few months or 5 to 10 years. Means today one person is receiving HIV virus, the person is getting HIV virus. After 5 years or after 10 years, that person exhibits symptoms. Now the symptoms of this HIV. Once the virus enters into the body, the persons exhibit bouts of fever. Bouts of fever. Fever is continuously going on. Next, diarrhea, loose motions. Because of this, total body weight is going to loss. So these three are symptoms of HIV persons. Next, in this case, what happened? After some days, the persons exhibit some pathogenic infections like Mycobacterium. This bacteria is easily attacks HIV patients. Because of this Mycobacterium, the person gets TB, tuberculosis. It is one of the lung disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now, this Mycobacterium tuberculosis easily attacks HIV person. Once the TB bacteria enters into the body, the person exhibits TB. Symptoms are of continuous cough with sputum. And next, several fungi diseases are also attacks. Next, several viruses are also ready to attack, and especially one of the protozoan named as Toxoplasma. Toxoplasmosis. This Toxoplasma is one of the protozoan. All these pathogens are easily attacks HIV person. Why? Because that HIV persons, once HIV enters into the body, in that body immune system is totally decreases. That immuno functions are of completely decreases. That's why we are calling as immunodeficiency. Once the person's immune system is decreases, that immune system is not ready to fight with pathogens. Because of that, there is a easily attacking of such type of different types of microbial organisms. So each and every microbial organisms, they are causing different types of diseases. So the person exhibit different types of symptoms. That's why this is called as a syndrome. Now the group of symptoms we are calling as syndrome. Next, the mechanism of infection. Once the HIV virus enters into the body. Now this is the structure of HIV virus. The full form of HIV virus is human immunodeficiency virus. Already structure is over. This HIV virus consists of 2 ssRNAs, single stranded RNAs, along with that integrase and reverse transcriptase enzymes. Reverse transcriptase enzymes plus integrase enzyme. Yesterday we completed the detailed structure of HIV virus. Now, these 2 single-stranded RNAs plus reverse transcriptase enzymes, integrase enzymes, all these structures are covered with a protein coat. The next, after that protein coat, protein layer, and both these two covered with finally lipid layer. So innermost layer is protein coat. After protein coat, the next protein layer, and the last one is lipid layer. Here the outermost lipid layer consists of glycoprotein molecules. Here these glycoprotein molecules are of two types. One is glycoprotein 41, next glycoprotein 120. Now these are all glycoprotein molecules present outside of the HIV virus. Once this HIV virus enters into the body, this HIV virus mainly attacks the cells. Those cells are consist of CD4 markers. On their plasma membrane, CD4 markers are present. Such type of cells only attacked by HIV virus. Because, for example, this is one of the host cell. This total host cell covered with the plasma membrane. This plasma membrane consists of such type of CD4 markers. So those cells exhibit CD4 markers. That type of cells only attacked by HIV virus. So example for that cells, the first one is macrophage and the second one is TH cells, T helper cells. Here the full form is T helper cells, simply called as TH cells. So in our body, mainly macrophages and TH cells, their plasma membrane consists of CD4 markers like this. Here the CD4 markers main function is they recognize glycoprotein molecules 120. So HIV virus GP120 molecules are easily recognized by CD4 markers. Because of that, HIV virus directly attacks the cells, those who are consist of CD4 markers. So that's why in our body, each and every cell is not going to attacked by HIV. Only limited cells are going to attack. So such type of mechanism is known as tissue tropism. Tissue tropism. So tissue tropism is exhibited by HIV virus because this HIV virus attacks only limited cells in our body. Those cells are consist of CD4 markers. Such type of cells only attacked by HIV. Now the main and important function of these CD4 markers, they easily recognize GP120 molecules of HIV virus. After recognizing this HIV virus, infect the host cell like this. After infection, this virus releases the genetic material of this virus, nothing but single-stranded RNAs. Along with that single-stranded RNAs, enzymes, reverse transcriptase and integrase enzymes. All these inner components are directly enters into the cytoplasm of the host cell. Now that is called as infection. After infection, next here the single-stranded RNAs, they are going converted into DNAs. So in our body, especially DNAs are produces RNAs, and finally RNAs are produces proteins. Now this is DNA. Generally in living cells, this is RNA and this is protein. Especially from DNA to RNA, this process is called as transcription. Transcription. So the transcription mechanism. In this mechanism, what happened here? The host DNA or any cell DNA is finally converted into the DNA is producing RNAs. This mechanism is termed as transcription. For this transcription, one of the enzyme is required. That enzyme is termed as transcriptase. So transcriptase enzyme converts DNA into RNA. This mechanism is termed as transcription. And finally, RNA produces proteins. Now this process is termed as translation. Transcription, translation. So transcription is nothing but DNA to RNA and translation is nothing but RNA to protein, especially here mRNA. These mechanisms are commonly going on in our living cells. But here, what is this enzyme? Reverse transcriptase. Generally, transcriptase enzymes are helpable for the conversion of DNA to RNA. Then here the enzyme is reverse transcriptase. Means here virus consists of RNAs. By using that RNAs, by using that reverse transcriptase enzymes, that RNAs are going converted into DNAs. Means reverse process. RNAs are going converted into DNAs. Now this mechanism is termed as reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcription. For this reverse transcription, this mechanism is termed as reverse transcription. For this reverse transcription, one more enzyme is required known as reverse transcriptase. So such type of reverse transcriptase enzymes are present inside of the HIV virus. Now by using that reverse transcriptase enzymes, here each and every viral RNA is going converted into a double-stranded viral DNAs. Now this mechanism is known as reverse transcription. For this reverse transcription, one of the enzyme is needed known as reverse transcriptase. Now after the formation of viral DNA, this viral DNA directly enters into the nucleus. This is nucleus and this is nuclear membrane. Inside of the nucleus, generally normal DNA is present, that is host DNA. Now this viral DNA directly enters into the nucleus and attacks our host DNA. Now this is viral DNA. Now this process is known as incorporation. Once the viral DNA enters into the nucleus and attacks our normal DNA, now that process is known as incorporation. So viral DNA incorporates into the nucleus and directly attacks the normal host DNA. Once this viral DNA attacks the normal host DNA, then this normal total host DNA is going converted into viral DNA. So normal DNA is totally converting into viral DNAs. Then this viral DNA produces, this viral DNA starts the production of RNAs. Now DNA to RNA, again this process is called as transcriptions. Now after transcriptions, next process translations. In these translations what happens? Proteins are formed. Now here viral RNAs are continuously formed. That RNAs are covered with protein coats. Then all these structures are going converted into new viruses. New viruses. Once again, after infection, the virus injecting the genetical material of virus known as the single-stranded RNAs, along with that single-stranded RNAs, enzymes. By using that enzyme, especially reverse transcriptase enzyme, single-stranded RNAs are going converted into double-stranded DNAs. Now these double-stranded DNAs are incorporates into the nucleus and attacks normal host DNA by using one of the enzymes known as integrase. Here integrase enzyme connects viral DNA with the normal DNA. So by using integrase enzyme, viral DNA attacks normal host DNA. Once viral DNA attacks normal host DNA, the total host DNA is going converted into viral DNA. Then this viral DNA starts the production of RNA by the process called transcription. Now these viral RNAs, from these RNAs again proteins are forming by the process called translation. Now new viruses are forming here. That new viruses released outside and they attack normal cells. They infect other host cells. Those cells are consist of CD4 markers. Now the freshly released new viruses mainly attacks TH cells. Mainly attacks TH cells. Because of this infection, maximum number of TH cells in our body is going to destroy. Maximum number of TH cells are going to destroy. Now these TH cells are a type of lymphocytes. Already we know T lymphocytes. These T lymphocytes are again two types. One is TH cell and one is TC cell. Already we know the functions of TC cells. They releases poisons. So here the mainly affected cells are of TH cells. Why? Because these TH cells are also consist of CD4 markers. So whenever the pathogen enters into the body, first activated cells are of T lymphocytes. Already we know. In that especially TH cells are first activated. If any pathogen enters into the body, first activated cells in our body is nothing but TH cells. That's why these cells we are calling as, here H is nothing but helper. They are giving help to our body. Once the pathogen enters into the body, immediately these TH cells are recognizes the pathogens. After recognizing, immediately they are sending information to other WBC. Means this type of immunity is termed as cell-mediated immunity. Now, here these cells are acts as a mediators in between pathogen and WBC. So, such type of TH cells are going to destroy. Because of damaging of maximum number of TH cells, our immune system not recognizes pathogens. Those pathogens enters into the body, our immune system not recognizes immediately. Because of that reason, our immune power is going to decrease. So that's why this is known as immunodeficiency. Immune system is there, but it is not going to function. Because of that reason, maximum pathogens they are entering into the body. And after 5 years and after 10 years, the person is exhibiting maximum symptoms. Once the person exhibits symptoms, then only the person is called as AIDS person. AIDS person. Once the HIV enters into the body, that is called as infected person. Here the person is termed as HIV infected person. Here the persons are not termed as AIDS patients. Here especially those individuals are termed as HIV infected persons. When the person exhibits all types of symptoms, then only it is termed as AIDS patient. Okay. So in this infection, maximum in our body, macrophages and T cells are going to attack. So first they attack macrophages. In this case, they are continuously producing new viruses. Here, by the production of these new viruses, this mechanism is going on. That's why here these macrophages acts as a viral generating factory. Once the HIV virus attacks the macrophages, that macrophages are simply termed as viral generating factories. In this case, such type of macrophages are not going to destroy. They are continuously present in our body. So, after infection, mainly destroyed, mainly damaged cells are of only TH cells. Okay, now, because of that damaging, our body is not recognizing pathogens easily. That's why our immune power is going to decrease. This is the mechanism. Okay. After infection, after disease, how we can identify such type of HIV virus in our body? So, confirmation tests are there for detection of HIV virus in our body. The confirmation test for HIV is ELISA. ELISA is one of the old method and the latest method is Western blot test. Here ELISA full form is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. So ELISA full form is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. It is one of the old method. And the latest method is Western blot test. By using these two tests, we can identify HIV virus in our body. And after infection and after identification, what is the treatments? Especially for HIV patients, doctors they are giving treatments by using some drugs known as antiretroviral drugs. Antiretroviral drugs. Now, these antiretroviral drugs mainly attacks the functioning of reverse transcriptase enzyme. Simply, the reverse transcriptase enzymes activities are going to disturb by using these antiretroviral drugs. But the mechanism is going on commonly. That mechanism speed is reducing by using antiretroviral drugs. Now, preventions. There is no prevention for AIDS. So one of the best method is prevention is better than cure. So here the preventions are giving to control AIDS by NACO, NGO and WHO. Here NACO full form is National AIDS Control Organization. Next, non-governmental agencies and World Health Organizations. All these three organizations, they are giving detailed information about AIDS. They are giving helps to control HIV infections. Now, all these preventive methods given by WHO. According to WHO, they are going to control HIV by giving such type of suggestions, by giving such type of precautions to the people. Especially those are of making blood safe from HIV, especially in blood banks. In blood banks, we are storing different types of bloods. In that blood, they are testing those blood is with HIV. If any blood is going to with HIV, such type of bloods they are eliminating. So that is the first step to control HIV. And the next one is use of disposable needles and syringes. They are giving strict orders to the hospitals and clinics about using of disposable needles and syringes. Already we know disposable means only one time. After using of that injection, after using of that needles, they have to eliminate. They have to destroy such type of injections and needles. Now, simply along with that, they are distributing condoms, especially in cities. Free distribution of condoms. So, by distribution of these condoms, there is a elimination of STDs. All sexually transmitted diseases are under the control by using of condoms. That's why they are freely distributing such type of condoms. And they are giving motivation to control drugs, the use of drugs. Especially in cities, some persons they are using drugs, such type of drugs they are taking intravenously by using such type of injections. By using small injections, they are taking drugs, that drugs they are injecting directly into the veins. Same type of injection again using another person. If this person is with HIV, that HIV virus is transferring from that infected needles to other persons. So such type of infected needles we have to eliminate. Because of that, before to that, we have to control the use of drugs. Because of that drugs only, infected needles are transferring from one person to another person. So finally, they are giving motivations to the people to control drugs. And they are creating awareness, especially in cities and rural areas, about safe sex, hygienic sex, sex with known persons, like that motivations they are giving. Next, and if any person is getting HIV, the person is required a regular checkup. By providing all these precautions, the lifespan of the HIV person is going to increase. By using such type of drugs also, lifespan is going to increase. So, there is no precaution for HIV. Once HIV virus enters into the body, it leads to fatal. Fatal means death. By using such type of drugs, the lifespan is going to increase. Life expandings are there, but there is no prevention of death. It is impossible. That's why take care about AIDS. Okay, thank you.